And like it or not, Republicans and Democrats have to learn to live with each other. I'm sorry.
Legs. Yes, they do.
I'm sorry.
They do. That's all right. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Are you done? Yeah.
Yes. Sorry. Okay, we're done.
Okay.
And I actually really enjoyed the first year and a half of the show. But like I said, as I grew stronger and more people would come on the show and I would really hold liberal guests' feet to the fire, I felt a lot of backlash both internally and externally at the show.
In her new book, Bad Republicans, Meghan McCain talks about the hostile and toxic work environment that she experienced over at The View. Now, before you roll your eyes, just wait until I give you the quotes and then judge for yourselves whether or not you feel any sympathy for her. Because to be honest, I felt a little tiny bit of sympathy, even though I disagree with her wholeheartedly on her politics and also her just overall demeanor. With that said, she writes in her book, you can't imagine how it messes with your self-esteem working in an environment where the worst thing you can be in the world is a Republican during the Trump years. As the country got worse under Trump, the treatment from Whoopi, Joy, and some of the staff grew meaner and less forgiving. So far, I'm not with her. So far, all I can think about is the fact that she landed a role on a show where she's making millions of dollars, not based on merit, not based on hard work, but based on the fact that she's the daughter of a former, now late senator. That's it. So far, not buying it. Let me continue though. It was as if I had become an avatar for everything they hated about the president. That's not it. It felt like the co-hosts and staff only knew one Republican, me, and took out all their anger on me, even though I didn't even vote for Trump. Now, of course, she's dismissing all of the unbearable things that she would say on that show. She seemed to have no problem demonizing the left, demonizing progressives especially. But whenever she got some of that treatment back in return, she would make a big deal about it as if she was some sort of victim, some sort of powerless person. But again, she's a person who landed that role based on her family ties and has a lot more power than the vast majority of Americans. So far, it just seems like weepy tears that don't make much sense, okay? Now,
here.
Let's go on to what she had to say about Whoopi. I found her open disdain for me more and more difficult to manage as the years went on and it became more frequent. Occasionally, if the show's political discourse veered into territory that she found disagreeable, Whoopi would cut me off, sometimes harshly. McCain also recalled a particularly difficult day in December of 2019 at The View, when Whoopi Goldberg told her, girl, please stop talking right now. She started to cry during our conversation.
That's what the reporter says about Meghan McCain.
Yeah.
So I want to reserve all my comments because I'm really split on two parts of this. One part I have a lot of sympathy for, and another part I have no sympathy for. But Anna, get through all of her complaints, and then we'll talk about what's legitimate and not.
So the last straw for her was Joy Behar and a very specific moment, okay? McCain writes, she decided that she had to leave The View on January 5th, her second day back from maternity leave. McCain had given birth to her daughter, Liberty, in September of 2020. And she was suffering from severe postpartum anxiety, which by the way is no joke, okay? Postpartum depression and anxiety is really, really difficult. So I wanna just really emphasize that. Now, during a political debate that day, McCain made a joke about how Joy Behar, the show's resident liberal, must have missed her when she was gone. Behar scowled at her. I did not miss you, Behar said, 0. Now we have a video from that moment. I wanna show you the video so you guys can kind of see how it all went down and then we can discuss.
You missed me so much when I was on maternity leave. You missed me so much. You missed fighting with me. Don't act like you missed fighting with me.
I did not miss you.
Okay, somebody answer the question.
Can I weigh in?
Or
you know what? That's
moving
so nasty.
I'd like to weigh in.
So nasty.
Can I weigh in?
Okay, guys,
rude. Like,
hold
really?
on. Stop. Everybody stop.
That's so rude.
Now, McCain said that she sobbed during the commercial and had a panic attack after the show wrapped, vomiting in her office. Overcome by her own anxieties as a new mom, she realized she couldn't keep doing The View given how toxic the job had become for her and her family. She left the show in August. So that last part, I do feel sympathy for her because like I remember that moment too. And I do think Joy Behar went a little too far. You can tell Meghan McCain was jokey. She was trying to keep it light. And I don't know, I felt like Joy Behar needlessly was like, no, didn't miss you. It's fine if you didn't miss her, but like live on air, I get it. It gets heated with political debate, but that moment, I think, it sucks. It would suck for anyone.
Yeah, no, I'm not buying that one, to be honest. So we don't have quotes on it, but she talked about something else that I had sympathy for, which was the nonstop leaks. And so that really sucks. And so then they're picking apart what did she say off air to this person, to that person? Was she mean? Was she cold? Was she this? And she says, look, you could have written that about anybody, but there was no leaks about the other ones. There was constant leaks about me. I believe her on that. And I think that is toxic and I think that sucks, okay? So I have sympathy for her on that. The rest of it, none, zero, okay? So first of all, if I was on a show like The Five on Fox News Channel, right? And I was away for a while and then they came back and they said, we didn't miss you. I would think that was the most natural thing I'd ever heard. In fact, I take it as a slight compliment.
I know, but that's you in your normal mental state. That's not you as a new mom who's going through postpartum depression. So, don't minimize that.
No, I'm not minimizing it, but I think she's using it as an excuse. Now, I don't know, so you could say that's unfair, right? But why do I say that? I say it because she explains many different incidents before she was pregnant and after.
Yeah.
And each time she has the same exact reaction. Anytime anyone slightly criticizes her, ball of tears, I'm the victim, I can't believe that you guys are not forced by the state to agree with me. So you had all the tears and you had all the anxiety and all of that before you got pregnant. So to me, it seems like she's hiding behind that. If I'm wrong about it and she has some real clinical issues, then I'm sorry, because that's definitely real. It happens to real people who aren't on The View, right? But for her, every time she's criticized, she melts. Well, that's not how it works. You got paid a ton of money to stand up for your position. Yes, you're right. There are more people nominally on the left, right? A lot of them are establishment, but Sunny Hostin's pretty good on the left, and Joy Behar is pretty good on the left, right? So yeah, there are people on the left, and more people on the left. We grant you that. The job is to stand up to them. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. And by the way, she walked away because she's already incredibly wealthy. So not a lot of people are in that position. So every specific example she gave outside of the leaks, honestly, I had no sympathy for it at all. Here, I'll give an example of you.
It's funny that look, I think the leaks are wrong, especially since it was mostly leaks about her. But I also had experience with her, working with her. She was the host of this show called Take Part Live. I would be a fill-in for that show oftentimes, or a guest host on that show oftentimes. I also was on 2 episodes of like a special she did back in the day. So I know what she's like behind the scenes, and I know the way she treats producers. I'm not excusing producers for leaking things, but I have no doubt that the producers despised her. And that's the reason why they would leak stuff about her. That's my opinion based on my personal experiences. She tended to treat producers as if they were her personal servants. And so I have a little more understanding in regard to why that was happening. Again, not excusing it. So that's why that part didn't really stand out to me. But I think you can take the different accusations that she's making separately and make a judgment on them. And I do think look, Joy Behar, even though I tend to agree with her more often than not on that show, she didn't really need to go there. It went a little too far and it was needless.
No, it didn't. So what? So what? So the reason why I make a distinction with the leaks is not because of who she's treating, but because when you're in a workplace, there's an implied trust and it's a breach of the trust. Whereas when you're on air, you're in the arena. So Anna cuts me off sometimes, she did it today. I cut her off sometimes, I did it today. We don't then go, I can't believe this is a toxic work environment.
I know, but
it's
we
a talk
genuinely
show.
Like each other.
No, okay, I'll give you examples.
It's a little different.
No, I'll give you, first of all, a lot of times we fight.
Well, what, you don't like me? I don't like you either, okay? I don't like you either.
That's it, toxic. Okay, so now, look, I'll give you examples from other places. So Anna went on a panel at Politicon a bunch of years ago. There was like 4 or 5 panelists who were all against her. So what? She took it like a champ and she fought back and she beat them all. You're in the arena. That's what you're supposed to do.
Not everyone's as strong, Cenk. I don't understand that.